Hello, you folks. Welcome to John Solo's Beard Brigade. I'm John Solo. This is little Lissa Gramling. She is patience personified today. And yeah, I was just telling her I put too many of the... So the electrolyte things that I have are just like drops, and you put them in. And so they give you like a big container, then they give you a little like eyedropper looking container thing. And you put them in the eyedropper container thing to kind of measure it out. So I did that, and I was spraying the eyedropper container in my coffee, and the end of the eyedropper container popped off, and like half of it went in my coffee. I was like, well, I guess I'm getting a lot of electrolytes today. And now I told Lissa my coffee is too salty and tastes like cum. And she said, you know what that tastes like? And I said, now I do. My coffee tastes like cum. So coffee flavored cum. Cum flavored coffee. Something like that.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm gonna be laughing at that for a while.
Yeah, well, hey, it is what it is. Wait, are you sick today? You sound stuffed up. Are you all right?
No, I'm fine.
All right, I'm just making sure. I'm
No,
actually
no stuffiness here.
I feel a little bit better today, which is good. So sorry we missed last week. It was my fault. I had 103 temperature and I didn't know what day it was, and that's actually true. I didn't know what day it was. I think I woke up around 2 or 3 or something and saw you message whatever time it was. I was like, fuck, I guess it's Thursday. I don't know. So anyways, here we are.
And I told you it's okay.
Well, yeah, it pretty much has to be. I can't go back in time. There's nothing
Well,
I can
this
do.
is true.
I couldn't do anything about it. I was freaking, I know, I was sick. But we are better today, and we've got a shit ton of books to go through. So let's, how does this thing work again? Look at that.
I don't know. I'm not over there.
I don't. I'm like, it's been a while. So the first book we had, and this goes back to 2 weeks ago.
Where Geeks Save Wisconsin. Where Geeks Save the World, Book 1 by Kathy Lyons and narrated by Sebastian Reynolds.
Oh, it gets stronger as you get further in. Wow. That one came out on the 29th. Sebastian Reynolds is a new narrator to me.
Me too.
We had
Guns and Boys, Bloodbath Book 6 by K.A. Merkin, narrated by Wyatt Baker.
I love saying her name. Okay, Merkin. Merkin.
Just like Kiki Clark?
Yeah, it's Merkin. That one came out on the 29th as well.
You just like the way I say it.
American. You have to say that. Anything coming close to that in Florida, it's the law. You have to say that. I know I'm not in Florida
anymore.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. You can take the girl out of Florida. But anyway, so the next one we have has an audio clip. Here we go.
Hey, I'm Piers Ryman, and I'm just dropping in this week to let you know about this week's new release. It's Spanish Siesta, Flying into Love Book 2, written by C.F. White. Here's the blurb. Matt Robinson just got dumped. Again. With his sister's wedding on the horizon, he needs a +1. Kieran Barker has been in love with his straight best friend for far too long. It'll never happen. Having already been left behind when Matt went to university, Kieran can't take more heartbreak. So when Matt invites Kieran to spend a whole week with him on the island of Mallorca, Kieran can't let himself think there's more to it than lads on tour. All he can do is play the field to take his mind off the hot, rugby-honed body of his oldest mate. Sexy men are in abundance in Magaluf, right? Matt only wants to cop off with the bridesmaid anyway. But when Matt's overprotectiveness about Kieran's late-night escapades borders on jealousy, can he even dare to think that there's more to their years of flirtations than simple bromance? And can Matt really acknowledge his feelings when they'll soon be returning to England with him back to the university rugby team and 200 miles away from Kieran? Spanish Siesta, Flying into Love, Book 2, is a contemporary, friends to lovers, bisexual awakening, forced proximity MM romance, featuring a hot-headed rugby fly-half struggling with his emotions and an out-and-proud wannabe dancer suffering from unrequited love. I'm really enjoying narrating this new series of C.F. White's. I adore her writing anyway, these 3 books, book 3 will be out at some point relatively soon. They're quite playful, and I really like it. It brings out a little bit of the other side of CF's writing. And they're really quite funny and very emotional, as you'd expect from CF White. There's the characters really have to work for their happy ever after. But yeah, they're ideal. It's an ideal summer listen, I would say. If you're looking for something to sit in the sun and listen, I think this might tick your boxes. Other than that, have a great week, everyone. Hope everybody's listening to stuff they enjoy. And I'll speak to you soon, I'm sure. Take care. Bye now.
Hi, how are you? Oh, goodness
At
gracious.
least he's happy. He's a happy person.
Yeah, no.
I enjoyed chatting with Piers a lot.
Did you talk to him? What, just messenger? Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Excellent. You're.
He
you're
lives
kind
in
of-
France.
Yeah, I've heard of this actually. I think Trace has been talking to him back and forth about coming on to Talk to the Beard show.
Yeah.
And just because he lives in France doesn't. He's welcome to come on. It's not his fault where I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe he chose to. I'm not for sure, but one way or the other. I wonder how he feels about salty coffee. I keep on putting it down. I'm just like, no, I can't.
Well,
take
don't drink
anymore.
it.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, well, I'm assuming it was hard at one point. That's how it got there. Anyways, thank you,
Wow.
Piers, for sending in the audio clip. I do appreciate it. That one came out on the 29th. Next, we had
My Next Date, Raised by Wolves, Book 2, by Casey Morales, and narrated by John Curtis.
that one came out on the 1st. Then we had
Hold on. I lost my place. There we go. Hell to Pay, Hellhound Champions Book 2 by Macy Blake and narrated by Michael Dean.
Hi. That one came out on the 1st. Speaking of, I still haven't uploaded the Talk to the Beard with Macy from Monday into YouTube. I got to do that today.
And the second story time.
Oh yeah, probably that one's sitting there too. I haven't done much of anything other than just lay in bed and sweat. That's pretty much it. Well, and drink salty coffee cum. Then we had, there we go.
How Did You Survive Alone? Irish Roulette Book 3 by Kai Brightly and M.D. Gregory, narrated by Keval Shaha.
Shaha. I think that's a Shah.
Shaha?
I don't know if is there a Shah on there? Wasn't that a band?
Could be.
Shah, Badu, Shah. That was a band.
Shalala, wasn't it?
Yeah, Shana Na, I think was.
Shana Na? Yeah, that
it
too.
could be that. Another new narrator to us. That one came out on the 1st. Then we had
The Last Son of Venus by Dion Mark, narrated by Jonathan Collar. Collar? Yeah.
Collar. I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
greens. And also a new narrator to us. That one came out on the 1st. The next one we have is going to be another audio clip. Here we go.
Drop Knots, Liminal Sky, Redemption Cycle Book 1. Written by J. Scott Coatsworth. Narrated by Kevin Earlywine. Life after the crash. More than a century after the end of the Earth, life goes on in Redemption, the sole remaining lunar colony, and possibly the last outpost of humankind in the solar system. But with an existential threat burrowing its way into the moon's core, humanity must recolonize the homeworld. 20 brave Dropnauts set off on a mission to explore the empty planet. 4 of them, Rai, Hera, Ghost, and Tien, have trained for 2.5 years for the return. They're bound for Martinez Base, just outside the old Earth city of San Francisco. But what awaits them there will turn their assumptions upside down, and in the process, either save or destroy what's left of humanity.
I was cautious there. I was like, should I flip back over yet or not?
I was waiting for it too.
I was just being
Yeah, I had
cautious.
to ask him if this one was MM. He said it does have some MM romance. It's not the main focus of the book.
Mm-hmm.
So I added it anyway and asked him if he wanted to do the audio for it. So
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Kevin's doing a great job out there. He's working a lot.
yeah, he is.
Yeah, which is awesome. That one came out on, I believe, the 1st. Now we're moving into the 2nd. We had
Into Deep, Texas Beach Town Romance Book 1 by Daryl Banner, narrated by Chris Chambers and Kai Rubio.
And I'm actually about to work on another book with Chris this weekend. Another, I think it's from the Love is Love series for Tantor. And he's also a busy
Yeah,
man.
I think I saw something about that.
Yep. That one came out on the 2nd. Then we had
Husband Material, London Calling Book 2 by Alexis Hall, and narrated by Joe Jameson.
And that one came out on the 2nd. Then we had
Straight Battle, Heroes at Home Book 1 by Willow Dixon, narrated by John Solo and J.F. Harding.
And that one came out on the 2nd, and I'm excited about that. That's one of my, not my first podium project, but certainly one of my first.
Book, the second book, I do believe, from that series will be out on the end of the month, I think.
Yeah, we just got all our pickup lines back over the last couple of weeks and everything else for it. And I think we have the third one scheduled to work on in September, if I remember right. So
the second one comes out September the 6th.
Yeah, cool, which makes sense. We just had the pickup lines come across. And I can't say enough good things about Podium. This is the first experience that I've had working with him directly. I've worked for Podium before, but it was kind of outsourced to find a way. Completely different experience than working with Podium directly. They are fantastic. I love them to death. I can't say enough good things about them. They are awesome to work with. It's cool. You get like a producer, you get an editor, you get a proofer. It's freaking amazing. Anyways, that one came out on the 2nd.
But did you tell them you have your own proofer?
Well, I didn't tell them shit about my process. all they truly care about is do the work, do it well, turn it in on time. You're good to go. But I will say that thanks to our live proofer, Tracy Johns, my lovely TNA, we had like one pickup line for this, maybe two somewhere in there.
Wow. Yay, go Tracy.
Trace rocks. Anyways, that one came out on the 2nd. Then we had
The Forever Neighbor, Corio Heights Book 3 by Ry Cox, narrated by Zachary Zaba.
That one came out on the 2nd. Then we had
Wicked Flame, Chicago Heat Book 2 by Ella Frank, narrated by Nick J. Russo.
And that one came out on the 2nd as well. Then we had
Safe and Sound by E.M. Lindsay, and narrated by Michael Dean.
And that one also came out on the 2nd. Then we had
Good Night, Rebel Sky Ranch Book 1 by Kelly Fox, and narrated by Blake Lockhart.
And that one came out on the 2nd too. Then we had
Take His Place by M.E. Astor, narrated by Tim Larkfield.
And that one came out on the 4th. Looks like that was over the weekend, coming into Monday. Then the next one we have is an audio clip.
Hello, everybody. Nick J. Russo here to discuss my new audio release, Better Than Home, by Lane Hayes. The lawyer, the diva, and a new adventure. Life is good. A few years ago, I met someone special, came out as bi, fell head over heels, and married the love of my life. A man. But not just any man. Aaron is a confident, unapologetically fabulous diva who isn't afraid to take chances. I love that about him. New state, new career path, no problem. Except things don't always go according to plan. That's okay. It might be the perfect time to get back to basics and check off a few items on our original list, like buy a house and start a family. Whoa, house first. However, house hunting isn't glamorous at all, and with my partnership at the law firm in the balance, it's kind of stressful. Everything we've dreamed of is within reach. If we can just find a place that feels like home, we'll be better than good.
Or better than home, as the case may be. There we go. Thank you, Nick, for sending that in, and congratulations on the release. Then and that one came out on the 8th, I believe. Then we
Mhm.
had,
Then we had Only for the Weekend by Riley Hart and narrated by John Solo.
and I can't say enough good things about that book. It was
Oh,
incredible.
there was a one click for me because when I was in there listening to you read it, it was like so hot.
So hot. Well, it took a while to produce, just life got in the way, that sort of thing. So it took far longer than it should to produce. I think I worked on that thing for 8 days, 9 days, something like that, which it should have taken 3 or 4 to complete. But I think we still hit fairly close to the release date of the ebook as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it came out the day before the ebook did.
Perfect, which was the goal. And Riley's new to me, but hopefully it will not be the last by any means. And speaking of, she mentioned that there's a slight possibility, if there is a want or need from the crowd on it, that she might do another book in that series with one of the other couples. So I encourage everybody to hardcore press her. Everybody ask if we can get a second book in the series, because I'd love to work for Riley again. That one came out on the 8th as well. Then we had
Fight for You, Beyond the Cove, Book 4 by Jacelyn Quinn and narrated by Kurt Graves.
And that one came out on the 9th. Hello, Kurt. Congratulations on that. Then we had
Beyond Justice, The Asylum Fight Club, Book 2 by Tibby Armstrong and Bianca Summerland, narrated by Gabriel McKnight.
and that is also a sandwich that you can purchase at a local fast food chain. Then we had
The Fake Boyfriends Debacle, Frat Brats of Santa Barbara, Book 1 by Hayden Hall and narrated by John Waters.
and that one came out on the 9th. Then we had
Rogue, Mike Bravo Ops by Eden Finley, narrated by Tim Page and Gomez Pugh.
Pew Pew. That one came out on the 9th.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, then we had
Best Friend Trouble, Snowtip Falls Book 3 by Alex McAnders, narrated by Gabriel Michael, Zach Hoffman, and Ryan Valance. And I did listen to a sample of this.
Yeah.
And I listened to the sample of this one and then book 1. Book 1 and 2 have got 2 narrators. But I think I might have found me some new narrators to listen to because it was really good.
They must have deep voices. That seems to be a commonality amongst the...
Not necessarily.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Okay, so they do. That one came out on the 9th as well. Then we had
Saddle Up, a Cedar Ridge Ranch novella by C.J. Bishop and narrated by Espen Cooper. Or Eastman Cooper.
However we say that. A lot of new narrators.
But that one sounds good too.
Yeah.
I have that one in my wish list to listen to.
Nice. That one came out on the 9th. Then finally we had
Yours Everlasting, Enchanted Folklore by Beth Bolden, narrated by Brennan Rossi. And that's not the last one. There's still more to go.
I see. I'm scrolling down through here. You are correct. Next we had
Hacked, Licking Thicket, Horn of Glory, Book 3 by Lucy Lennox and May Archer, and narrated by Michael Dean.
And that one came out on the 9th. Then we had
Shackles of Conformity, Psychological Freedom by Mark Baker and narrated by Maurice Collins.
That sounds like a Megadeth song. That one came out on the 9th. Then we had
Always, Indigo Falls College, Book 1 by Lauren Lee, narrated by Liam DeCosmo.
Nice. He's stretching out into his own, which is a good thing. That one came out on the 10th. And finally, we had
Last Date, Kip O'Connor MM Mystery by S.C. Winnie, or Win, or whatever. I'd always do that. And narrated by James Woodrich.
And that one came out on the 10th. And finally, what we've been waiting for, what you were listening to this week, I'll pull the first one up here. Here we go.
Deep Impact by Kelly Fox and narrated by Zane Daniels. Or Zachary Johnson, whichever he prefers. I gave this one 5 bullets.
Hell.
I've been waiting for this book for a while. And it was amazing. It's book 4 and the last of the series, which was sad because I was sad to see the series end. And this one follows DB and Odd. They were amazing, and it broke my heart a couple times. Just how he felt about how DB felt about himself. And I love the whole series. Zach is amazing, and there was some amazing sexy times between the two of them.
5.
That's why I gave it a 5.
Nice. I was explaining our bullet system off the air to our last Talk to the Beard guest, Macy, because she had not seen the show before, and I was explaining the background behind the whole concept and everything else, and she had a good laugh about that, by the way. Next, because it looks like this is 2 weeks worth of you listening, we had
Chasing Fate by Mia Monroe, and narrated by Tim Page and Liam DeCosmo. I gave this one 3 bullets. This is book 2 of the Friendship and Desire series. Mia, Tim, and Liam do a fantastic job with this. I got something to do. I got to do something with this audio that I hadn't done in a while, and that is yell at least at one of the MCs. Oh my God, I wanted to strangle? Is that even a word? Strangle and shake, I guess that's combined, one of the main characters, Sydney, so much. He just kept taking everything so literally because a friend of his was doing a tarot card reading almost every day. And he had this idea of his type, who his type was, and he kept his sights on that for most of the book and wouldn't even listen to anybody when they said don't take it literally, but he just didn't want to listen. I love the book. I was happy he finally got over what he thought his ideal man was, or who he looked like, and figured out that you can find love with a friend. It's one of his best friends from childhood that came back into his life, so it was like the best friend trope. Yeah, or friends to lovers trope.
Well,
Yeah.
and we obviously love Mia here, and of course Tim, and I don't know that I've met Liam in person yet, but everybody else I know, and Mia is like my freaking counselor. The last time I had her on Talk to the Beard, she worked me through a lot of difficult topics for myself, which was fantastic. I love Mia to death. And speaking of people that I love to death, well, that's probably not the best way to put this. Now that I think about it, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I didn't intend to go there, but I did, I guess. So it is what it is. Then we had this one.
Yeah. This is actually book 2, and it's called Stop, Collaborate, and Listen by Susie Hawk and Krista Crown. It's the first time I've ever read or listened to a Krista Crown book. And I haven't even listened to book 1 yet, but I will. And I gave this one 5 bullets.
Well,
I loved this so much. This was about, I guess, Percy and Seymour, or Tank as he's called. Percy's a meerkat shifter, and Tank is a tiger shifter. I laughed so much because of Percy's family, or his clan. They were a clan of meerkats, and it was just so hilarious at times. And Zach did an amazing job with this. During the sexy times, it was hot, it was sexy, it was sensual, and it almost sounded like he was purring. It was definitely not safe for work, and I'll most likely listen to the second one now, or probably soon, I hope.
yeah,
But it was extremely good.
This is a spin-off of a spin-off, and I actually started the original series years ago.
Yeah, you and Kurt.
Into Kurt, and Kurt took over the second part of it, and obviously Zane took over the third part of it here with Stop. So yes, I think you would probably like all of them if you like that style. It's got a lot of humor in it, which is fantastic, and I'm sure Zane knocked it out of the park. He's fantastic as well. Finally, we had.
I finally got into this series. I gave this one 5 bullets. It's Got Me Hoping by Casey. Was it Casey Cox?
There you go. Yeah, it's
Wow.
funny you can't remember Cox. I've got
Uh,
I've got a little
especially,
bit in my coffee here.
especially when this guy Hayes thinks he is very proud of his spectacular cock. Very low angst. I enjoyed it so much, and I can't wait to get to the rest of the series. And Casey is becoming a favorite. Of course, the narrator did a wonderful job with this, and all the growls were a favorite thing as well. The sexy times were awesome, and someone had an obsession with somebody else's ass.
Huh.
Yeah, but I can't wait to get into the rest of the series, and I really, like I said, I really enjoyed this one.
Well, there's a
And
ton
you
of
did
them
a
out
great
at this
job.
point. Well, thank you. There's a
Huh?
ton of them out. I think we're up through book 5 or something like that. I think we're about to go into
Book
6.
5 will be out Monday.
Yeah, it seems like that's been a while ago since I recorded that. But we're going to be rolling into books 6 and 7 here over the next few months. I know 6 at least, and I think 7 might be scheduled for next year. I can't remember. But yeah, Casey's fantastic. And yeah, I to be honest, I don't really remember book 1 at this point. It's been a while back, but I'm sure. I
Yeah,
remember my
it was
impression
Hayes
of book
and
1 was it was fun.
yeah, Hayes and Noah.
Names mean nothing to me at this point, but yeah.
Well, Hayes is the one that made the soap.
We're talking about the same book, right?
Yes.
I don't remember, but I do remember
Okay,
that
yeah.
I enjoyed it. I remember that, but it's been a while ago.
It was long ago, and yeah, I understand. You've done
Yeah.
many since then.
But yeah, I remember my impression of it was a lot of fun to do. It was a lot of fun to work on.
I mean, it came out in March, so yeah, you've had many other ones come out since then. So
a little bit of insider, not trivia here, but a little bit of just an insider story. Tracy is actually the reason why we got to work on that. Tracy reached out to that author, I don't know, a year ago, something to that effect, because she liked the author a lot. And she's the one that actually turned Casey Cox on to me. We chatted back and forth. We were going to work this as an indie project, and it turns out just the way the business works, he needed to go through Tantor. So he went through Tantor, requested me specifically, and got us back into the project again. So it took a while to get everything set up and finalized, and there's a lot of contracts that go across on the backside when you're working with a publisher like Tantor, but eventually we got it worked out. But this is Tracy's fault. She is the reason why we got to work on this, and I can't thank her enough for it. Casey Cox has
yes,
become
thank
a
you,
decent
Tracy.
friend as
I'm
well.
actually enjoyed the first book, and once I finish what I'm re-listening to right now, I will probably hop into the second one.
Well, we will get to that next week. Good job. We weren't missing a single graphic here
Yay!
today. So,
I
yes,
was so worried
exactly.
about that.
Nope, you got her done, man, and especially with a lot of books. So we will toss this up on YouTube. We will see you next week. Thank you for your patience over last week, as, again, I was laying in bed with a fever. But we will see y'all. Wave to the camera, say goodbye, and we'll be working here in Discord in about an hour or so. So have fun.